This is the Fordham section of the Bronx. My home. A world unto itself. You could get to any bar in 15 minutes from here, but they might as well be 3,000 miles away.
A Bronx Tale. A Bronx Tale is a 1993 American coming-of-age crime drama film that was based from Chaz Palminteri's 1989 play of the same name.
It was 1960, and doo-wop was the sound on the streets. It felt like there was a doo-wop group on every corner back then. What a time it was. The New York Yankees were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates in the World Series, and Mickey Mantle was like a god to me.
It was directed by Robert De Niro, starred him in his directorial debut, and was produced by Jane Rosenthal. The coming-of-age tale centers on an Italian-American youngster named Calogero who, after meeting a local mafia boss, finds himself divided between the allures of organized crime and the principles of his honest, devout father as well as racial tensions in his neighborhood. With few adjustments, the Broadway production was adapted for the big screen and starred Palminteri and De Niro. In the gangster genre, this film is one of my personal favorites.
In a Bronx Italian-American community, a boy reaches adulthood. There is nothing more terrible than a wasted ability. His
Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent.
father tells him. Another bit of advice from a mobster on the corner is, nobody really cares.
Mickey Mantle don't care about you, so why should you care about him? Nobody cares.
These pieces of instruction appear incongruous, yet the boy discovers that they fit together nicely. 9-year-old Calogero, his mother Rosina, and his father Lorenzo, an MTA bus driver, reside in Belmont, a working-class Italian-American neighborhood in the Bronx, in 1960. The mafia presence in Calogero's neighborhood, commanded by local leader Sonny, captures his attention. The 9-year-old boy's life in the neighborhood is followed in the movie. One day, Calogero sees Sonny kill his friend's attacker by shooting him. While being questioned by NYPD detectives, Calogero remains silent. Lorenzo gently declines Sonny's men's offer of a better-paying employment since he prefers a law-abiding life. Calogero becomes friends with Sonny, who gives him the initials C.
From now on, your name is C.
When Lorenzo finds the tips, he reprimands Calogero for his behavior. Calogero makes tips working in Sonny's bar and playing the dice. Sonny receives his money back from Lorenzo, who also issues a cautionary note about Calogero.
This time you're wrong. You don't fool with a man's family. This is my son, not yours.
After 8 years, Calogero, now 17, has been coming to see Sonny on a regular basis without his father's awareness. Sonny is concerned since Calogero is a member of a group of local Italian-American boys. Jane, an African-American girl, and Calogero strike up a shaky bond after meeting. Calogero sets up a date with Jane despite the high degree of racial hostility in the neighborhood between Italian-Americans and African-Americans. Later, a group of African-American cyclists passing through their neighborhood were attacked by Calogero's buddies. After hearing his need for help, Sonny offers to lend Calogero his automobile.
If she doesn't reach over, lift up that button for you, so you can get in, thump.
When Calogero and Jane finally meet for their date, one of the riders turns out to be Jane's brother, who accuses Calogero of beating him up. Due to the accusation, Calogero loses his cool and calls him a nigger, a mistake he immediately repents. Jane and her brother go. When Lorenzo sees Calogero driving Sonny's automobile at home, he confronts him. When they fight, Calogero storms out. He walks into his friends, who inform him that after the earlier thrashing, some African Americans egged their social club. Soon after, Calogero is confronted by Sonny and his team after they discover a bomb on Sonny's car. Sonny hears Calogero's impassioned plea for his unshakable loyalty and grants him permission to leave after realizing his innocence. When Calogero joins up with friends, they decide to use Molotov cocktails to get revenge on the African Americans. Calogero is coerced into taking part, but Sonny stops their automobile and tells Calogero to leave. After catching up with Jane, Calogero learns that her brother has acknowledged that Calogero was not the person who attacked him. After reconciling, Calogero and Jane rush to stop his friends from attacking Jane's neighborhood when he suddenly remembers their plans. An unbroken Molotov cocktail is thrown by an African-American shopkeeper during the attack at the boy's car, which enters through the window and ignites the Molotov cocktails remaining inside, killing everyone inside. When Calogero and Jane get there, they discover the car on fire and the lad's burnt remains. Before Calogero can give Sonny a warning, an assassin kills him in the back of the head at his bar as he rushes in to thank him for saving his life. Later, Calogero discovers that the murderer was the son of the guy Sonny killed when he was 9 years old. Numerous individuals attend Sonny's funeral to show their respect. After everyone but Calogero leaves, a lone man named Carmen shows up at the burial and claims that Sonny has also saved his life in the past.
My name is Carmine. We go back a long way together, Sonny and me. He saved my life too once.
When Calogero notices a scar on Carmen's forehead, he realizes that he is the man Sonny defended by shooting the other man 8 years prior. Carmen informs Calogero that he is temporarily taking Sonny's place in the neighborhood and pledges to assist Calogero in the event that he ever needs it. Just as Lorenzo unexpectedly shows up to pay his respects to Sonny, Carmen departs. Lorenzo acknowledges that he never despised him but that he did detest him for forcing Calogero to mature so soon and expresses gratitude to him for saving his son's life.
See you around, Sonny.
As he says farewell to Sonny and makes his way home with Lorenzo, Calogero talks about the lessons he acquired from his two mentors.
Sonny and my father always said that when I get older I would understand. Well, I finally did. I learned something from these two men. I learned to give love and get love unconditionally. You just have to accept people for what they are. And I learned the greatest gift of all. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And the choices that you make will shape your life forever. But you can ask anybody from my neighborhood, and they'll just tell you, this is just another Bronx Tale.
On the streets of the Bronx is where I wanna be.
The movie received 4 stars from critic Roger Ebert, who described it as a very funny movie sometimes, and very touching at other times. De Niro, making his directorial debut, hits the proper chords as he switches from laughing out loud and becoming furious and crying. It is full of life, colorful characters, and brilliant lines of conversation. The fact that the movie is about values is essential. About how some boys grow up into men who can look at themselves in the mirror in the morning, and others just go along with the crowd, forgetting after a while that they ever had a choice. I encourage everyone to watch the movie because it is a classic in its own right. Thank you for watching. Take care.